That URL that you see on the front slide there, if you access that, that will get you into the SlideDeck. There you'll find resources and also a link to receive a certificate of participation at the very end of the presentation. All right, let's get going. Canva has released a lot of new features over the past, well, several years, but most notably the past couple months. I'm pleased today to highlight those. As a teacher, somebody who's in education, you might be wondering why it is that we'd even bother with Canva. And I can say that, firstly, it will help you save preparation time by accessing thousands, literally thousands, maybe even millions of ready-to-use educational templates and media assets. You no longer need to spend time doing this and creating things on your own. It will also help you boost student engagement, easy-to-use collaborative tools for creating dynamic projects. There's no reason for any of your students to be bored when it comes to projects. These are exciting things that I'm sure they'd be thrilled to use. And then, of course, the simplified workflow, the tight integration with learning management systems like Google Classroom really makes it easy to get your content out there and distributed the way you want it. So that's why Canva. Now here's the 4 main new features we're going to hit on, and they are big. They are really big. First one, Magic Activities. What that basically does is it instantly converts text prompts, you'll hear a lot about text prompts today, into interactive classroom exercises like quizzes or games. Basically what this looks like is you type in a prompt, express what it is you're wanting Canva to create, and it will create it for you. Whereas in the past, if you wanted something created, you'd have to brainstorm. You'd get on sites like Teachers, Paid Teachers, look for inspiration. You don't have to do that anymore. It's all right there. Tons of it. The AI presentation generator is absolutely incredible. It's going to create a full lesson slide deck with visuals from a single description. So you could just say, hey, I want a presentation on this topic. It'll ask you, okay, what grade level? What standards do you want to meet? What are you looking for? What color theme? Things like that. It'll build all of it for you. The next AI feature we'll be showcasing, emails. The one that hit your inbox, I think a couple days ago that I put out. That was created with Canva. It was nice and colorful. This new feature enables users to design professional, customized messages using Canva's drag and drop interface. It's all drag and drop, and it's so easy. You're going to see for yourself how easy it is. Then, of course, the native form builder. We've all used Google Forms here in the district, and that's a great tool. If you want even a simplified way to collect that data, the Canva Forms is an easy way to do that. Magic Activities. All right, so I got 3 bullet points up there for you. So basically, this is going to generate activities instantly by converting text prompts into ready-to-use learning tasks. All right, we can customize and differentiate the lessons easily by adjusting grade level, subject, or specific goals. I mentioned that earlier. And then we can assign the tasks directly to students within the platform for seamless collaboration. I'm going to demonstrate Magic Activities. If you want to follow along, you are more than welcome to, or you can just watch this. We're going to go to classwork rather, all right? So it's actually right below the home button. So we go to classwork, and we're choosing Magic Activities. That's easy because it's right there at the top. Let's click that, and look at what we have. And this is very intuitive. So it asks you, briefly describe the topic your student will work on. So I'm going to type in life cycle of the honeybee, okay? All right, now before we hit enter or click on this arrow over here, we're going to set a couple parameters. All right, so notice that we can choose grade. Now they just are introducing K through 4. All right, so if this doesn't work exactly as you hoped it would at this point, this is in beta stage right there, but you can see that's the top option. I'm going to go ahead and choose 8th grade for mine. And then subject, I'll say science. All right, and then on the learning purpose, what is the end goal here? Well, I want them to understand the process here. All right, the life cycle of the honeybee, basically the stages, however many there are. I want them to understand that. So I'll choose that option. So what this is going to do, it's going to build these digital activities for me, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to share them with your students. So at this point, I'm just going to click the continue button there. Okay, so it looks like real quickly it generated 3 for me. So I've got a storyboard, honeybee life cycle. I have a mind map playlist that they can create, or a comprehension activity. Now look at this. You see this little icon right here over on the right? That's refresh. So if you don't like these options, it's like try again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say I like this one. So I'm going to choose it, then I'll say generate. This might seem a long time to have to wait for this, but when you consider not long ago, if we wanted some resources like this, how much time were we spending either creating it ourselves or trying to find it? Talking about hours, right? And look at this, it's done. So at this point, I'll click on it. All right, so it starts with a zoomed out view. So the idea here, remember, these are digital tools. So you're not printing these off. I suppose you can, but that kind of defeats the whole purpose here. The students are going to have access to these files, and you're going to allow them to manipulate this information. Now, if we zoom in on it, you can see the little zoom slider at the bottom. If we drag that to the right, you can see what's included in this. We have instructions for the teacher. Very top tells you how to use this. If we scroll down, all right, here's our goals. Now you can see these little text boxes here. This would be areas where students would input information, right? We've got a nice crew today. They're all good, all well behaved. All right, and so it looks like at the bottom here, this storyboard, that's going to be the big part of this lesson that they're going to do. Okay, this looks great. I want to use this. How do I get this to my students? If I click share, oh my goodness, look here, Google Classroom. I'll click continue. Then I'll have to authenticate. I've already done that. So then at that point, it's just a matter of choosing your class. I'm going to say my sandbox class, that's just a play around class. Then I can decide, all right, do I want an assignment, material, an announcement? It's up to you, all right? I can click go. And look, this should look familiar because it takes us basically to Google Classroom and it provides the link right there for us. I mean, so easy to do. That tight integration. Really amazing. AI presentations. This is, of all the features, I think this is the one that I was most excited about. All right, so this is where you basically just giving it a prompt, just like we did before, and it'll build the entire presentation for you. There's a couple ways to do this. You'll notice on the left-hand side, I have more. You'll have a section called Canva AI. You could do that, choose that option, or you could go right to presentation, which is an option running across the top there. So if I go back down here to Canva AI, I'm going to say Canva AI, design, presentation. All right, now this is where we can tailor it a little bit. All right, so we'll say who's our audience going to be. Casual, professional, educational. That's what I want, educational. Style, let's see what styles we have to choose from. Minimalist, playful, organic. Geometric, modular, elegant, digital. Ooh, digital, I like that. And we can also specify a length. I'll say short and sharp. All right, so at this point, we want to go ahead and type in our idea. I'm a history buff. I'm gonna go the American Revolution. Valley Forge. I want to focus on that. All right, let's see what we come up with here. Okay, you can see what it's doing over there on the right. It basically gives us an outline for what the presentation is going to be built upon. And if we're satisfied with that, we can go ahead and click Generate Design, or we have the option to edit the sections a little bit if we want to at this stage. I'm satisfied with this. I'll say Generate the design. Now it's going to think. Look at these. I mean, it's awesome. All right, so I like this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And I say, yeah, I want to use the editor. Let's get in it. There it is. Ready to go. Now, at this point, I can go ahead and present it to my class, and I'm going to show you some of the cool presenter tools that Canva has built in. So if I click Present, I'm going to say Presenter View. All right, so I have on my screen these presenter controls that you don't see right now, but it's going to allow me to quickly move from one slide to the next. See the little animations that come in? All built automatically. I didn't have to do any of this stuff. And look at how professional it appears. Now, some things that you can do with your presenter tools, I can draw on the page if I want to. I've got some pen tools here. So let's talk about this here. Not really a great drawing. Let me erase that if I can. Okay, I just quickly got rid of that. I've got some shortcuts here. So maybe there's something on the screen you want to take away from the students. I can quickly blur it. Can unblur it. Students are getting too noisy. Let's be quiet. I don't have my audio running through here because I'm recording, but depending on how loud you have your speakers turned up, that can be pretty dramatic. The drum roll and confetti. There's some other things there too as well. We've also got a timer we can quickly put up on the screen if we want to. Remote control. That is an option where you can control this presentation using your phone. Very easy to do. And if you want to allow feedback from your participants, what we can do is I can give you an address. Now you are an active participant in this. So at this point, if you want to ask a question or make a quick comment, go ahead and do that right now if you would. Type in anything. You can just say hello. Okay. So Anonymous puts in here, where is Scar City? Well, I can actually take that comment and put it up on the screen so everybody can see. All right, and then of course I can close out of that if I want to. And looks like people are giving that the thumbs up there. All right. All right. If this is too much for your students to handle, I can go ahead and end this session, and then you all won't be able to chat anymore. All right. But it's a nice feature, and it offers a level of engagement that you wouldn't normally get in your regular presentation, where the students are just sitting back there and passively listening. Now they're participants, right? Let me go ahead and end that. All right, so email design. and it's really, really easy. So you're going to be able to easily use the drag and drop tools I mentioned before. You can instantly preview how your emails are going to look before you send them out. You can even test them to yourself before they go out. And the tight integration allows you to send them directly into Gmail. All right, and it's very easy to get to because we have it right there in front of us, email. All right, at this point, we're prompted to design a new email. Now, there are many templates that you can choose from. You can search for something. Maybe it'll bring up something similar to what you're looking for. Or what you can do is you can totally design it from scratch if you like. Now, you've got some elements over here that lend themselves to being built into an email. So if we just move over to the Elements tab over here on the left and we click that, look at what we have. We have headers, footers, buttons. All these elements can be dropped into the editing zone over there on the right. And then once they're in there, we can customize the content. So for example, headers. Let's see what we have under headers. There's some nice styles here. We want to add one of these. We just simply click it and boom, there it is. And we're like, okay, that's great. Can I actually customize it? Of course, you just select it. Maybe you want to change it to Alcoa colors. There we go. And you customize it. You're editing at this point. All right, let's look at some other things that we can add. We'll go back to Elements. All right, we were just there in headers. We can bring in some graphics, some photos, column data, tables, charts, videos. Look at all these things that we can bring in. All right. If you don't see what you're liking there, you can also just click on this little plus symbol right here, Quick Actions. And this might be a little bit more familiar to you. So we can go to heading style if you just wanted to manually enter your text. Heading, subheading, body, table, sheet, divider, page break. I'm going to go ahead and call up the one that I sent out earlier so you can see how I assembled it, what that actually looks like. So basically these are our sections. This is one section right here. That's another section. That's another section. And I just basically stacked them one on top of the other. And then to get in and edit these, you're just going to double click. And it'll bring up the editor. You make your changes and then you save it. And then it becomes part of that email template that you've made. And it really just takes a little bit of time before you get exactly how it all works. But it is drag and drop. We can take these sections and we can actually move them and rearrange them if we want to. All right, now you'll see over here on the top right we have the send test email. So if you build all this and you want to see what it looks like when it hits someone's inbox, you just choose that and you address it. I've already connected my account. I click send test email and then I'll see it in my inbox. And you can see it also is going to preview for me what it looks like on not a desktop but also on a phone. Based on how it appears, you may want to adjust your design so it's optimized for both of those formats. Okay, if you are satisfied with it, it's ready to go, we're going to say share, and look here, Gmail. I'll click Gmail. If you've not connected yet, you would have to choose the connect option. I've already done that, so I would say export it to Gmail. And it should take a moment to get it ready. And if I click this final button here, it pulls it up in Gmail and it is ready to fire away. All I have to do is put the recipient email addresses in there. Look at that. Really easy. None of that's overly complicated. And the connections is what makes it happen so easily. With forms, you can build Alcoa themed forms directly inside your designs. Again, using the drag and drop tools. We can capture those responses instantly into the data sheets. And we can make these designs interactive by easily adding forms for signups, feedback, data collection, whatever you want to use them for, you can. All right, so let's try this together. So you'll see whenever I click on the form itself, I can quickly get to all my responses. There they are. I can view them. There's a timestamp on them. All right. You can also link them to an exclusive sheet, much like you could with Google Sheets and Google Forms, right? If you want to edit this form at all, the fields, all you need to do is click the Edit button. And look, here's all of your controls. You can customize these. You can add additional questions if you want to. Just a matter of clicking on them. All right, and then you can adjust some additional settings over here. So what I do is whenever I want to create a form in Canva, I'm just going to type in canva.com/forms. All right. And when you do that, it takes you here. So remember that. Canva.com/forms. But here it is. You get started by just clicking Create a Form. And you're in. All right, so here's all our different templates basically to choose from. We can say see all. We can look through them here. They're divided by topics. There's education, business, events, feedback. You can see what these look like here. All right, you like one that you see, you just click on it and it'll drop it in there for you. I want this to be a little bit larger, so I'll just drag on the handles here. All right, like I said, if you want to change the questions, you just go to Edit. Now when you're ready to share this, what you're going to do is you're going to say Share, and you're going to choose Public View Link. All right, Public View Link, and that makes sense. Click the Public Link View, and then it will create that link for you. Then you can copy it and you paste it wherever you want it to go. Send it in an email, post it in Google Chat, on your website, wherever. You could make a QR code if you wanted to. If you need more information on how to use Canva, we've got 2 links here, the Canva Help Center, and then they have what's called the Canva Design School, where there's all kinds of lessons from beginning to advanced stages of mastery, and you can get in there and basically learn to your heart's content. If you would, go ahead and click on that final slide. That'll take you to a Google form. You'll go ahead and get an hour's worth of in-service credit. If you fill that out, it should send you an email with a nice certificate with your name on it. Make sure you don't misspell your name.